Hi and welcome to another one of Surf Simply's quick tips with me, Roo Hill. So today I just want to talk quickly about the difference between trimming and carving turns. I'm not going to go into it as much detail as I did in the classic Big Whiteboard Wednesday old videos. More it's just that I want everyone who's watching to understand the difference between these two types of turns because we refer to them a lot in some of the other videos. So I want you to imagine as you look at a surfboard, you've got these invisible buttons on the surfboard. Just in front of the halfway point on the center, you've got an accelerator. Everything in front of there is the accelerator. Right at the back of the board, you put your weight back there, you've got the brake. Now, when you put your weight back on the brake and the nose goes up, you've got the ability to put weight on the heel or the toe side of the board, and that tips the board on its side. With the nose up in the air, the board can then do a carving turn and it can carve round in a circle. In theory, it could carve all the way around 360 degrees or more. The other type of turn is a trimming turn. A trimming turn is when you have your weight forwards on the accelerator and you lean on either side of the board, up nearer the center of the board, or perhaps even near the nose of the board on a longboard. With a trimming turn, the board's going to go more in the direction that it's already going, but it doesn't change direction. Trimming turns you might use if you're pointing slightly down the line and you want to go more down the line or lift the board up the wave. When you're riding inside the tube, you're doing trimming turns, taking the board a little higher up the wave, a little lower down the wave. When you're doing a cutback, you're doing a carving turn. Your weight has to come back and the nose of the board has to come out of the water so that the board can do a big change of direction. This is really useful because if you ever try to do a trimming turn when you should do a carving turn, the board will tip over. Let me say that in a different way. If the board ever tips over when you're trying to turn, it means that you're doing a trimming turn instead of a carving turn. In other words, if the board tips over when you're trying to do a turn, it means your weight wasn't far enough back. You need to get your weight back in order to lift that nose up, and now when you lean on the side, the rail won't catch and the board won't tip over. But as we said, when you put your weight back, you lose speed. And that's why so much of what we do in surfing is about creating speed. That's why we talk about surfing to the targets and putting yourself in the critical part of the wave. So when you're thinking about turns, think about, am I doing a trimming turn? Am I doing a carving turn? If you need to do a big carving turn, that foot needs to come back, that weight needs to come back, so you're lifting the front of the board up in the air. If the board tipped over and you're fortunate enough to have someone who's videoing you, look at how near the back of the board your back foot was. If your back foot is, this far away from the back of the board, there's your answer right there. Okay, so that's essentially the difference between trimming and carving turns. Hopefully that's something that you can notice in your own surfing and in other people's surfing when you're out in the water. And even though I haven't talked about all the body mechanics of where your hands and feet and everything is supposed to be, I think it's really helpful just to even notice that in yourself and other people. All right, if you want to find out more about our coaching courses, go to surfsimply.com and I hope to see you next time. All right, bye.